welcome back. So last time we added some shooting and sound effects, particles, and we added a timer to destroy our objects after a few seconds. Today I want to add power-ups, a power-up and a power-down that when you pick up, it's either going to allow you to shoot twice or 3 times depending on how many power-ups you have, and a power-down that's going to decrease your power. So let's go to the models folder and right click import new asset, and I'm going to import the power up object, and then I'm going to import the power up PNG. I'm just going to drag the object into my scene. I'll make sure to rotate it on the X by 90 degrees. Then I'll just scale it down. Okay, this is maybe too little. Let's say 0.4 I believe is good. Okay. Let's now add the PNG onto him so it has color. So I want this object to be, when collided with by the player, I want it to increase his power. So we need to add a rigid body to this object, and of course disable use gravity, and let's go ahead and add a box collider. Now of course we need to set it up properly. Go ahead and click edit colliders. Let's just set this up. Okay. There we go. Okay, be sure to enable is trigger because we will be triggering some events when the player enters this collider. And also we need to add a new tag. Let's call this power up and give this tag to this game object. And now let's go to the prefabs folder and drag this game object down. So we create a prefab out of this one. Just be sure to delete the game object from the hierarchy. And let's now import the power down object and the power down PNG. There we go. Let's just rotate it. And let's get the color in there. Scale it down. Okay. And of course, let's add a rigid body, disable the gravity, and add a box collider. Make sure that is trigger is enabled, and let's go ahead and edit the colliders. Okay. There we go. And let's again add a tag for the power down because we'll need it to check what we're colliding with. Power down. Let's give it that tag, and let's create a prefab out of this object. And now we can delete it from the hierarchy. So let's now go ahead and open up our player script, and let's create a method to check if we collide with something, and if we do, we want to increase our power. So I'm going to say void on trigger enter collider, and this is just a variable that holds all information from the object that we collided with. So we can say if that object's tag is power up. Now we want to check if our power is less than 3. If it is, we want to increase our power. Because how our game is set up, we can only have maximum of 3 power. If we had 4, we couldn't be able to shoot because our shooting method has only cases for 1, 2, and 3, so we have to make sure that it's always either one of those 3. Let's now make a check for power down. Power down. And again, we need to check if the power is greater than 1. We want to decrease it. So power minus minus. We don't want this to ever go below 1 or above 3. Actually, power greater than 1. So if power is greater than 1, we can decrease it, but if it isn't, we're just going to ignore this. So let's save this script and go back to Unity, and I can now add my power ups and power downs. Oops, this is the particle, sorry. Let's add the power up. Let's just position it like that. Let's add some power-ups as well. Just make sure that the Z is 0. That's where the player is, also on the 0. Because you might set Z to be 10, but because it's in the camera is orthographic mode, you will still see the object without depth. So let's set it to 0. Let's add another power up and set this to 0 as well. And let's add some power downs now. Whoops. So now if I run the game, I should be able to... I can now shoot. You see I collided with that one and it gave me more power. Now I have 3, but I can't get more. And if I hit the red one, it decreases my power. But here's the problem: the power-ups stay in here, stay in the game. We don't want that, so let's go ahead and open up our script. And then here, after we increase the power, we can just say destroy collision.gameObject, and do that as well for the other one. Just save this and open up Unity again. Play. Now you can see I have shoot 1. I collided this one. It's disabled. It's destroyed. I now shoot 2. And if I pick that one, I shoot 3. And now if I pick the 4th one, I still shoot 3. Pick this one up, the power down, I shoot 2, and finally I shoot only 1. So there we go. That's how we make power-ups. Later, when we implement enemies, we're going to make it so that the enemies have a chance to spawn either a power-up or a power down. So that will be it for this lecture. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.